Fast and Loud took the world by storm upon its release on the 6th of June 2012. It was a reality TV-based series by Discovery Channel in which Richard Rawlings and his Dallas, Texas crew operated the Gas Monkey Garage, where they would bring old and broken down cars to restore, hopefully for profit. The show garnered a lot of attention due to how extreme the car makeovers were, with some of their most impressive builds seemingly nigh impossible to the unpracticed eye. Sue Martin, also known as the Upholstery Queen, has been an instrumental part of the cast since the show first aired. Her small stature and Eastern appearance have also made her quite memorable among the audience, since these particular features are rarely, if ever, present in automotive industry celebrities. Of course, as her nickname suggests, her talent for upholstery was unparalleled in the business at the time, and Richard Rawlings, who owns the shop, saw that quite clearly. She was thus his general go-to whenever a new rig needed upholstering, but this lasted only through the initial 24 of 157 total episodes. The fact is that Sue herself was never an employee of Gas Monkey Garage, which would imply that Rawlings had to pay a lot more than he would to a direct subordinate. This is probably why he ended up siding with someone else later down the line, and why Sue dropped out of the series. In spite of Rawlings eventually finding a replacement for Sue, the two had great chemistry on the show, and their interactions were some of the fans' favorites. The video that clearly shows what a hilarious duo they are is entitled Riding with Sue, Fast and Loud on Discovery's YouTube channel. The video starts the way they usually meet up, with Richard bringing the vehicle over to Sue's shop so that she could look at it, and give him an estimated price for the work required. This time, however, Rawlings wanted to play with the idea that she doesn't have anything good to say about the cars he brings in. So the video went in an evidently different direction than normal. Right out the door, Sean says, "Man, Sue, this place gets bigger every time I come in here." He tells her that he has a 1932 Ford Coupe. "You've done a couple for me in the past." Sue is visibly confused and asks,
"What's the car?"
"Well, you say I always bring you junk, so this time I left the junk at my shop."
How am I supposed to work on it?"
"The car isn't here. I can't give you a price." Sean simply says,
"Well, can't you just come over and take a look at it?"
"I gotta go with you to go look at it."
And the next thing the audience sees is her climbing onto the back of Sean's custom-built green chopper. He simply says, "Alright, hold on tight," and lets the engine rip. Sue showing a visibly worried look throughout the ride to the shop. Immediately upon arriving, Sue said,
"It hurt my back. I ain't ride with him no more. Lousy driver."
Sean shows her the car and says that he wants the upholstery to be a clean black color, including the carpet, the headliner, and the door panels. Finally, he asks,
"How much is this gonna cost me? You've done cars like this for me 100 times over."
"This is gonna cost you $5,000.
Sean waves his hands away and says, "What?" Sue simply confirms what she said.
He hits me with $5 grand. $5 grand for the interior of a car that she's done for me 80 different times. And that's before I even told her I needed it in 2 days.
Naturally, he begins haggling, saying, "How about $3,500? Sue just says, "What? No." And to the camera crew,
Here we go again. Every time.
I don't know if it's worth $5 grand.
Oh, yes, of course. He won't pay.
Can I get some kind of discount, like 2,500?
Cheap ass monkey. No way.
It's videos like this that truly appealed Sue to the fans. Even though she was never a part of the original cast from the shop itself, her no-holds-barred approach was seen as quite refreshing by most of the audience, and thus her disappearing from the show was a tough pill to swallow for many car enthusiasts around the world. In the video entitled, "Don't Mess with Sue, Fast and Loud," Sue is seen handling many situations that are commonplace when Rawlings is doing business. Thanks to her honesty and confidence, Sue came across as one of the most unique members of the show. Richard brought her a very small van, to which she said, "What the shit is this?" To which he casually responded with, "It's half a van, half car, half price." Sue just hit him with, "I don't think so, $3,500. Rawlings was visibly taken aback by how boldly Martin asserts her prices, saying, $3,500? To the camera crew, he said,
Interior job she's ever quoted for us.
He just left, and I don't care. Go, bye. Who the hell built a car like that anyway?
They tried bringing her another car, which this time needed full upholstery. Sue again said,
35.
3,500 again? Is that the only number Sue knows now? All right, 3,500. I need it by, can we have it Monday morning?
Sure.
Apparently satisfied with the outcome, Rawlings said,
It's very easy dealing with Sue today. Did you wake up in a good mood?
Yeah.
Medicine.
You didn't say cheap ass monkey or bring me junk. Bye, Dragon Lady.
Bye. Okay. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Ass monkey.
Ah, she said it. Whoa!
He then explained how they need to get the old upholstery material to Sue so that she could look at it and create her own design based on that. He approached with the necessary seats and said,
What's up, Sue?
What you got?
You remember the Night Rider?
I don't know what's the night rider.
How much is this gonna cost me, Sue?
1,500.
You know what? I'm not even gonna argue. 1,500 bucks is fine.
I should have said $2,000.
Yeah.
You in good mood.
You should have. See, I got over on you today. 1,500 bucks. See you in 4 days.
4 days later, Sue brought in the seats, immediately asking, "What's wrong with you?" Richard said, "There's a lot of things wrong with me, Sue. Most of it you wouldn't understand, because it's in English." He asked her how much the seats were, and she said,
We want to make you happy.
I want to be happy.
Cheap.
You know what? And I want you to be happy. So go in there and tell Christy that you need a check for $1,600. You get a $100 tip today.
even though Discovery never signed a contract with Sue, they were more than happy to feature her business in the show, simply for the fact that she always did an incredible job with the upholstery. The video starts with her saying, "I'm the star, not Richard." In the video posted in February 2013, Sue revealed that she has owned her business ASM Auto Upholstery for 23 years, which in late 2022 is nearing 33 years.
This is my second home. I like it. I spend a lot of time here.
It's no surprise that Sue doesn't get much of a weekend, spending 12 to 14 hours working every single day, which is undoubtedly what allows her to produce such high-quality car interiors and outshine the competition. She has a son as well as a daughter called Karen, both of whom have now been in the business for over a decade. Sue has been trying to get them to take over the business so that she can retire. The wall in her office is covered with the hundreds of cars she's worked on throughout her career, coming off as a truly impressive resume without the needs for words. Funnily enough, she revealed that she doesn't have any fast and loud cars on the wall, saying, I like it very much. Except Richard. I don't have Gas Monkey's car. Richard, his car is junk. I don't want to put junk on my wall." What makes this statement particularly entertaining is that most of her worldwide popularity comes from the projects she's worked on in the show for Gas Monkey Garage. However, since the cars do actually look like junk prior to restoration, Sue decides to simply keep them off her wall. Her sister also works there, mainly taking charge of duties in the sewing room. Next up is the material room, where hundreds upon hundreds of rolls of leather, cotton, velvet, and other types of material lay stacked on top of one another, but she showed the crew how they were all placed in an orderly fashion, except for one corner. She said, "Look at this material here. Look at it. This is for Gas Monkey. That's a piece of junk. That's why I put the junk material in one area for him to pick." At the time this video was being filmed, it appears that Sue was working with Gas Monkey so closely that certain portions of her shop were fully altered to fit the ever-increasing number of orders coming from Rawlings. They finally reached the garage area where numerous cars were parked and in various stages of upholstery work, some with their convertible tops still torn off. She said, "Look over here. This is a Maserati. You walked in on it right now. Look at it. Richard never brings me cars like that. That's why I tell him, you always bring me the junk." Ultimately, she introduced everyone to her pet canines by saying, "I don't have a monkey, but I have my dogs. You want to see them? Come on." She showed her 3 boxers named Coco, Bronchi, and Choo Choo, then ended the tour with, "Thank you for visiting my shop. Now get out of here. I have work to do. Bye." In late 2022, Sue still runs her business as smoothly as ever, having expanded her array of services into repairing besides upholstery. Martin's new dent repair service features paintless restoration of vehicles that have been battered by a strong hailstorm or anything similar, as long as the damage is light and not severe. The business began in 1990, 6 years after Sue moved to the US with her husband and kids. Martin and her friend reupholstered the family's 1968 Gran Torino, which eventually got her to purchase a failing and bankrupt upholstery company for just $4,500. ASM Auto Upholstery has been dominating from Dallas ever since. Finally, with Richard Rawlings' business doing mighty fine as well, it might only be a matter of time before the two start collaborating again, which is bound to present the audience with some of its finest looking vehicles yet. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.